Joining me now is Eric Ham, our CTV News political analyst. And Eric, thanks for joining us. Quite the last 24 hours, I'd say.
That's certainly right. It's been a whirlwind.
Who won? Did anybody win? Have we resolved anything?
Well, I think the consumers on both sides of the border actually won, because what we now see is the tariffs from the United States and the retaliatory tariffs from Canada now are actually put on hold for at least 30 days, which means consumers on both sides actually get to enjoy normal prices as opposed to the increased prices that we all were expecting as a result of these tariffs by the Trump administration.
And what about politically? Did Trump have the upper hand on this? Did the Canadians win and the Mexicans win?
Well, clearly, I think Donald Trump blinked. This was a game of chicken that he was playing, and I think he was hoping to use these bullying tactics to get both Canada and Mexico to bend to his will. And clearly that did not happen. The question, of course, becomes what happens in 30 days. Now, we do know that already China has responded with retaliatory tariffs as a result of those 10% tariffs that the United States placed on China. And so I think what happens in terms of how this goes, this trade war goes between China and the United States will certainly, I think, determine what happens if Donald Trump actually continues to bully and bluster with tariffs, or if it actually stands down.
And what does that tell you? That there's kind of a deal for the Canadians and the Mexicans, but China is being hit by the tariffs?
Well, I think what it says is that Donald Trump believes still that tariffs are the way to go to actually bolster the U.S. coffers. He did not place the tariffs at as high as he was going to on both Canada and Mexico. But again, I think what we're seeing here is Donald Trump still has this idea that somehow tariffs are actually good, not only for the United States from a revenue standpoint, but also from an expansionist standpoint. And I don't think Donald Trump has actually moved away from that, which is why there still should be growing concern about what this all means going forward.
So essentially, you think in 30 days, we're going to be back here again?
We most possibly could be, yes.
And at that point, do you think he keeps kind of moving the goalposts? I mean, banks have come up now. First it was security, fentanyl. Now it's banks and other issues. Will we expect more of that over the next 30 days, or will it kind of settle down before we get back into this?
Well, I think as long as Donald Trump stays on this tirade, and I think as long as he has this idea of wanting to implement tariffs, I think the goalposts will continue to change. One day it was the trade imbalance. The next day it was fentanyl. Now it's banks. I think in a week or so, it'll be something else. Only anyone knows what's in Donald Trump's mind. But clearly what we're seeing is Donald Trump is clearly shaping policy based on misinformation, and that's dangerous for both sides of the aisle.
All right, Eric, thank you. As always, make sure you have your seatbelt on for the next 30 days.
You bet.
Eric Ham is our CTV News political analyst.